Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. Tough defeat to swallow. Let me introduce my co-host Alex.
Hey guys, how's it going?
All right, Alex. Yesterday was a tough game, a very tough game. What are your initial reactions?
Yeah, man,
seeing that?
It was, in my opinion, it was more luck than anything. Bad luck in our favor. What's there to say? I know, like we were saying earlier, we were just unlucky, man. We had so many good opportunities. We had so many clear chances on goal, and I think you made the calculation. We had like 4 chances. We would have been 4-0 up by halftime, right? And that's open play. That's not counting the Dembele foul that should have been a penalty. But yeah, man, it's been rough, and it hurts more when you consider how well we were playing. We were completely dominating Bayern, especially in that first half. They were playing terribly, and we had chances to spare, and Lewandowski didn't have a great game. Then we also had in the second half Pedri missing that chance 1v1 against Neuer. It was just bad luck more than anything, I'd say, and it's a very bitter defeat to. Considering the history, the rivalry, and especially, the way we've been playing, we haven't had a defeat yet, and I think it's been over, 12 plus games that we haven't lost in?
Yeah, something like that.
So, it hurts, man, but, we got to move on, carry on, and play against Inter, and then again against Bayern, and hopefully we can get him on the Camp Nou.
No, yeah, as you said, it was Barcelona dominated Bayern in their home stadium. They were much better in a large majority of the game. In the first half, Barcelona dominated. I think Barcelona could have been 3-4 nil up. In the second half, I think it was more even. I think Bayern were slightly better, but it was mainly in the start of the second half where Bayern had that their strong little blitz, where they were very, very good for 10 to 15 minutes, and Barcelona conceded the first goal, and that's where the lapse of concentration, where we still are feeling the blow of the goal we conceded, and they scored the second. But it was a very encouraging performance, regardless of the result, just because we went toe to toe with Bayern. When you look at the previous encounters, Barcelona does not compete at all. Barcelona does not compete. We're asking each other, okay, how many goals is Bayern going to score? We went into this game extremely confident, and I think I could not be more proud of the team. But we see that there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, and it's how you were saying, if this had been Barca a couple of years ago or even last year, it would have been a different story. It would have been a matter of how many are we going to concede. But, the team played well. Not considering, getting scored on from a set piece is always annoying, especially when it was an issue with the marking. I believe it was Marcos Alonso not properly marking the near post.
It was between Marcos Alonso, Lewandowski covering that front post, and Ter Stegen just coming out. Why are you coming out like that?
Yeah, well, it wasn't
it was just
the best play, but. Mm-hmm. Getting scored from set piece, and then we had the Sane. It was a great pass through ball to him, and he finished.
Yeah. All right.
But before we move on, I would like to say this team is just so much better, and we have come so far. The way we're just dominating them at home, honestly, I think we still have a great chance to give him a good game and beat him in the next round.
In the Camp Nou, and I would go into it, seeing how Barcelona plays in the next couple of games, I see Barcelona winning that game. Let's first look at the lineup, because there were some surprises in that lineup. Ter Stegen started, obviously. These were the 2 surprises of the game. Marcos Alonso, Christensen, they started. Raúl Araujo started as a right center back, Koundé as a right back. Into midfield, Pedri, Busquets, Gavi, and up top, as we expected, Dembele, Lewandowski, and Rafinha. I personally think that I don't think Xavi did anything wrong with that lineup. Marcos Alonso, even though he's at fault for the goal we concede from the corner, he played extremely very well throughout the game. He was very calm in possession. He I don't think he gave any balls away. He won every single aerial duel. He brought composure to the team. It was a very good performance. I think that performance from Marcos Alonso is better than any performance that Jordi Alba has given us in Europe in years, by far. Christensen, very solid. I don't think that Eric Garcia was 100% fit. That's why he didn't start the game. Because if Eric Garcia is 100% fit, he starts. As simple as that. And then there was also some debate to see, hey, who's going to be the right back? Is it going to be Araujo or is it going to be Koundé? And it turned out to be Koundé.
And they did switch.
Yeah, and they did
a tactical switch. Well, if I'm being honest with you, Elias, I don't think it was probably the best team we had.
Yeah, it was
right to pick from, but I disagree with Alonso being in the squad. And yes, he did have a good performance, but man, I still think that should have been Balde there. I know he played in the weekend. And
no, but I'm not really worried about. I'm just thinking like, hey, this is a huge game for Balde to start.
No, I understand that.
This is a player who is relatively has no experience in big Champions League games, and especially you're playing against Bayern Munich all way in such a big location. Are you really gonna like bet on Balde?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna bet on
and I'll tell you why. If you look at the way Balde plays, he's just so dynamic going up. And
I agree.
If you look at Marcos Alonso, his overlapping game and his crossing wasn't on point. You saw his corners, his set pieces weren't great. I'm not saying Balde is great at crossing. He's no Alexander Arnold.
He did give the cross for Lewandowski for that header.
That's fine. But I'm saying there just wasn't enough of that. And I feel like we just relied a lot on the right side of the field, especially in the first half, to attack. And that's fine. But, we saw, of course, Dembele played well, extremely well. And, it just happens. I just thought we were attacking too much on the right side, and that's an issue considering they have Alphonso Davies on that side, and he's a defensive threat. He's someone that can take away the ball, create counterattacks because he's quick. And I don't know. I just feel like Balde would have been the better option. Also, Marcos Alonso hasn't been part of the squad for that long, so there's always the chemistry issues. And he played very well. There's no major complaints on my end aside from the goal. But I don't know. I feel like Balde is the right choice, and he should be the first choice left back.
No, I definitely agree that the Balde should be the first choice left back. I think this game is a game too soon. I think throughout the season, as Balde starts getting minutes, start playing games, I think Xavi's going to trust him more because this is really like the first huge game of the season, and I think it was a little bit too early for Balde to start. But overall, I think we defended really well. Araujo and Koundé, they completely nullified Mane throughout the entire game.
Yeah, Mane didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was just because having these two huge physically very big players, it made Mane's life extremely difficult. Sane at times, the same thing. He was nullified. Their only way of attacking was from that left side with Christensen and Marcos Alonso. But I don't think that this is going to be our starting defense. I don't think that this is our finalized lineup. Because when you think about it, hey, is Balde going to come in for the left back spot? Is Eric Garcia, when 100% fit? If all of these players are fit, who's starting? Is it Balde, Eric Garcia? And then you have to think, hey, Koundé, I don't think is a good choice long term to play in that right back slot. So is Bedreddine gonna come in as that starting right back? And when he's the starting right back, who's gonna be the two center backs? Is it gonna be Araujo and Koundé? Eric and Koundé, or Araujo and Eric, or Koundé and Araujo? You have so many options that this is still way too early to give a conclusive statement on the defense. But the performance from the defense was very good so far. And then when you look onto the midfield, I think every single player in that midfield played spectacularly. Well, what do you think of the performances from Pedri or Gavi?
The one that I liked the most was particularly Gavi. I thought he gave great chances. He was just all over the field. He was playing well.
No, Gavi, he was a bulldozer. You saw him running endlessly. You saw him on one side of the pitch, and then a minute later on the other side. He was just running up and down, up and down. He gave so much energy.
Yeah,
and he was so aggressive. He helped so much in that press. You see why Xavi trusts him so much, and he recently got his contract renewed.
Yeah, I saw that, but going back to that was great news, by the way. But I'm just thinking about that performance. It was something else, and Pedri played well too. He had a good game as well, but again, he had a few missed chances, and it's part of the game. But I thought he had a good game as well. The one that I liked the most though was Gavi. Busquets, obviously he's Busquets. He had a decent game all around. He was good. But Gavi was a star man of the midfield.
No, I would also say that Pedri, my gosh, we have to remember this is a 19-year-old kid blossoming the Bayern Munich midfield. He seems like he's playing in slow motion. The pause that he's able to give the game. The passes opening up the field. Pedri is on a different level. With our midfield with Pedri and Gavi, I think it's set for the next couple of years. Both of them are fantastic. And Busquets' recovery and his positioning was so key in the game. He helped in so many occasions. It's just a shame that in the one instance where he is pressing high and he's telling, I think it was Gavi, or I believe it was Pedri, hey, cover the midfield because there's a huge open gap in there. Musiala is able to turn and give that pass to Sane, which leads to the second goal. You see it in the video where Busquets is telling, like, hey, cover that area, and no one covers it. And that's why we concede. But looking a little bit more closely into that second goal, I think it's a disconnect that Araujo isn't as tight as he should be. He's not as aggressive as he should be in that situation. And Koundé doesn't understand what it is to be a fullback because he's not a fullback. He's a center back. When in that situation, you're supposed to cover the center back when he pushes out, and just like the distance in between fullback and center back, I think it was just like Koundé was marking that. I believe it was who was it? I think it was Mane, or I think it was someone on the left hand side. And he just wasn't able to close in time. But that's why I repeat, this isn't the finalized defense. As the players are 100% fit, we're gonna see what Xavi decides to go with.
Yeah, and it's what you're saying. There's players that are playing out of position. Koundé is not a fullback by trade, and we see him struggle sometimes. I thought he was great though on the right back for most of the game. He gave a few good crosses, and he has played so far in the season when he's played in the league. He's played good on the right back position. But Xavi's just trying to utilize the best defense he can, and he knows, hey, well, that's not your natural position, but you're another defensive asset that I can use. And obviously, we know right now our best back four would be Balde, Garcia, Araujo, and Koundé. Based on
at the current moment, that is our best defense. But now moving on to the attack, I think we fluffed so many chances. It was so bad. Lewandowski had 3 or 4 clear chances. You had the one where he miscontrols it and he skies it. Another one where it was so bad. The header. If on another day Lewandowski finishes that and we're up 2-3.
Yeah, no, it's also the nerves playing back at home after not being there, after leaving the team, man.
But still, as I said before, in the Champions League, it's not who plays better, but it's the one who's more effective. This is exactly why Real Madrid beat PSG, beat Chelsea, beat Manchester City, especially in that Manchester City tie. Real Madrid were not better than any of these teams for the majority of the tie. I only think they were better in 20 to 30 minutes and stuff like that. But Real Madrid are so effective. If you give them one chance, they will finish it. They're that clinical. Especially when you go into the Manchester City game. I mean, both legs, Manchester City dominated Real Madrid. Absolutely dominated them. But the thing is, if you do not punish them. If you do not put the game to bed and if you concede a chance, they're going to score. And that's what it is in the Champions League. The more effective team wins. That's what matters.
But when you talk about not being the better team and sitting back a little bit and controlling the game, you also got to consider one thing. Real Madrid is a team that does not have neither by their tactical play style, but also by their player quality. They're not a team that controls the ball. They're a team that, yes, they create chances, but against any other strong team, they don't necessarily have great ball control in the midfield, and that's something that we have.
No, I think our midfield is one of the best in the world.
No, of course.
I think the only midfield that can, because you saw we dominated Bayern's Munich midfield. I think the change that really bolstered their midfield was Goretzka. He brought so much energy into that midfield. He helped Bayern so much.
No, and of course, one player that does not get spoken of enough is Masuri. Masuri was great.
Maswari, he played so well in that game when he came in for an injured Pavard. He gave a very good performance.
But yeah, it's really unlucky. But what I'm saying is, Madrid was not only the better team during their during the games, but also during the group stages. We saw they even lost to Sheriff last year.
Yeah, they did.
It's not the end of the world to lose a game, but we still have to carry on and win the remainder of our games.
No, of course. Yeah, exactly.
And we, of course, I get what you mean. It's not how fast you are. It's about finishing the race.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, and in general in the Champions League, the competition is so tight. Like all the players have so much quality, and all the teams have so much quality. It's decided on who finishes their chances. It's who's more clinical, and that's basically how it is. But Rafinha, I think the entire front line played a decent game. I don't think none of them played spectacularly well.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd say the only one that had a poor game was Lewandowski. It's fair to say it was a poor game.
Yeah,
he missed a lot of chances.
Yeah, he missed a lot of chances.
But our wingers were good. Dembele had a great game.
Yeah, Dembele had a good game. Yeah, he made a couple of runs. I think he sat down Kimmich, I believe.
Yeah, and
that one counter where it led to that Lewandowski chance. I think it was the first one. But it was just on another day, this could have been completely different.
Yeah, it's a lot of nerves, a lot of tension, and it's part of the sport too. We can't always win, we can't always score the goals.
Yeah.
But of course, this is just this is a teaser of what we have to give him in the Camp Nou. And I'm saying, if we play the same way we play, and we come out from the beginning and we make him pay, Bayern's not gonna be in it for long.
Yeah, exactly. But shout out to Bayern Munich's defense, because Upamecano and Lucas Hernandez, I think the entire back line of Bayern Munich played a phenomenal game.
I would say their best, one of their best ones was Davies, though.
Davies played well, but I think Upamecano was very good.
Yeah,
in a couple of instances,
for sure.
It was just like and like, what a coincidence! Like, our luck, a player who's been criticized and who's been playing poorly in the couple last recent games, of course he's gonna have a fantastic game against Barcelona.
Who, Upamecano?
Yeah, every single goalkeeper, player, or anything who's in a bad run of form and they play Barcelona, they play like they're possessed. It's just like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's definitely unlucky, but it is what it is, and I'm not too worried about this loss. It hurts.
Oh, yeah.
It's always bitter to lose against Bayern, being such great rivals, but at the end of the day, it's part of the game, and I have really high hopes for the next one, like I said before.
No, yeah, but now looking at what it means for our Champions League run, our next game is away at the San Siro. That's going to be a very tough game.
It will, but I might be a little imprudent for saying this, but I think it shouldn't be that hard of a game.
No. We're going to go into the game very confident.
Yeah, and when we look at how Inter Milan have been playing, they haven't been playing well. Uh-huh. And they're suffering, obviously, Conte's departure and a lot of players they've lost. So, Inter aren't the same anymore. And to be honest with you, I think it wouldn't be that bad of a game. No. I think we could win fairly easily.
Inter are a very tough team, especially at home.
No, of course. I'm not denying that.
No, of course. But we have to win that game, because imagine this. We lose that game, Inter Milan, and we assume that Bayern Munich is going to put 4 or 5 pills in. Bayern Munich have 9, Inter have 6, and we have 3.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the next game with Inter Milan at home, we're going to have to win. And then, what's it called? And then also win at home against Bayern. Just to say, hey, we need to be safe. Because if we lose against Bayern at home, I think it's a very uphill battle. It's going to be very difficult. Then we're going to need some favors from, for example, for Bayern winning against Inter Milan in their own stadium.
Yeah, no, it'll be tough, but I don't think it'll get to that point. If I'm being honest,
I don't think it's going to get into that point, but we need we can't let that happen, because the ridicule so far that Barca fans and the media have been, because this is exactly what the media has been waiting for, Barca loss, because everyone has been focused so much in Barcelona during the summer, saying like, hey, where's Barcelona getting this money? Oh, Barcelona can't compete. Barcelona is this. Barcelona's the FC. All these things that people have been saying. They've just been waiting for Barcelona to lose, and of course, we lose against Bayern. But that's no shame on the team, because like anyone can lose in the Allianz Arena against Bayern. Anyone can do that. And we gave some very good signs. But we leave the same with a bitter taste in our mouth, just because like we were the better team, we dominated Bayern, and if this was on another day, we would have gone into the game, we would have left the game 3 or 4-0 up.
Yeah, and I'm very hopeful that the Barcelona does pick up and say, hey, it's only been one loss in a while, but we gotta wake up and we gotta go with the same intensity and the same confidence that we've been having, because it's not the end of the world, but it should call for some attention, of course.
Yeah, exactly. There's still lots of work to be done, and I'm very excited. But we also have a game coming up this weekend in the Camp Nou against Elche. What are your thoughts on that game? Do you think that Xavi's going to rotate? What do you think Xavi's going to do? And keep in mind that this is before the international break.
Well, to be honest, I think he should rotate. I think he should put some of the lesser played players, some of the people like Ferran Torres, maybe try Bellerin, maybe see how he plays.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking is for that Elche game at home, just because like the game against Bayern Munich was so high intensity. You saw that. There was so much running. It was such a high intensity game that Pedri at the end of the game, bro, he was giving some misplaced passes. Bro, he was exhausted. Like, he ran so much that game. Like, I was telling like Xavi, like, bro, like, sub him out. He's like dead.
Yeah.
But looking at the game, I think this is a great chance to start both of the fullbacks, Balde and Bejarin. Just to get them out on the pitch, just because like these are natural in their positions, and we have to see like, hey, Balde is the starting left back, but is he gonna stay that? Because as I said, Marcos Alonso played a very good game. Is Xavi Alonso gonna view Balde or Alonso as a starting left back? I don't think Jordi Alba was in the plans. And their center backs, I think it's gonna be Eric Garcia and a mix up between Araujo and Koundé to see who starts as the right center back role. I think Pedri is going to start again, but I don't think Gavi is going to start. I think Gavi is going to be rested. I think either Frankie de Jong or Kessie is going to be brought into that midfield. And then in the second half, if we are winning, I think Pedri is going to come off for Gavi. And then up top, I think Ansu Fati is going to start. I think Ansu Fati is going to start because he came on against that Bayern game, and he had some occasions. I think Ousmane Dembele is going to start again, and Lewandowski.
You think so?
Yeah.
Against Elche? No.
No. Just because like we need to go. We need these 3 points like before the international
No, that's
break.
fine.
We can't go into the break.
I would
like losing or drawing, because then that's like terrible. And then the next thing we play is against Inter Milan away from the San Siro.
Of course. But listen. I think I will give you my starting 11 right now. I think the 11 should be Balde.
Okay.
I would put I'll put Eric Garcia if fit. Yeah. I'll play him, just so he can get a feel again before the international break. I would play Conde.
Yeah.
I would rest Araujo.
Okay.
I'll play Conde. Or I was gonna say maybe play Christensen, but he did play a lot. So
yeah, he did play the last 2 games.
So I would say put Conde, rest Araujo, play Bellerin. Then in the midfield, I would say put De Jong, put Chiesa, and put Pedri.
Okay.
To help him keep boosting the confidence, because I know he didn't have, I know he missed a few chances here and there. Mm-hmm. And then up top, I would put Fati. I would put Ferran, and I would put Lewa. Just play them on the wing. That's what I'm saying.
No.
And it's not it's maybe not the ideal rotation lineup, but I'm saying like players that didn't really get that much playtime, like put him in. It shouldn't be a hard game. If it does seem like it's the second half is like minute 60, we still haven't done anything. Put in the studs, put in the better players, and win the game. But it shouldn't be a problem. I would even say like don't even play Lewa, play Depay.
Oof. Because
but then I wouldn't, because I want Lewa to get his confidence up. I want him to score easy goals.
Yeah, exactly. It's better for Lewandowski to go into that game.
Of course.
Get a brace, get a hat trick, and then go off with the Polish national team, and then just like have the confidence knowing that everything's well in Barcelona.
Of course, that's why I would say maybe rest him. Maybe don't play him. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe play him and give him the confidence he needs. But if all else, maybe even not even play Ferran, maybe just play Depay. It's good to give your bench players a chance, but we'll see. I know Xavi knows best, and I know he knows the team better, so we'll have to see how it does.
But guys, that was it for today's episode. We gave our thoughts and our reaction to the Bayern Munich game. It was a tough defeat, but we move on. Leave a like, subscribe. What were your thoughts? And we'll see you guys all in the next episode.